Hi, welcome to Demystifying SAP with NDZ and Okena. Can we take a short moment to talk about what SAP is doing for young professionals in the SAP space with programs like YPP and ETE? I mean, it interests me so much to know that not just training these individuals, but making sure that they are able to find opportunities in the SAP community. Today, we're going to be interviewing ThankGod, an alumni for SAP YPP, and Mustafa, who was the pioneer ETE representative for Nigeria. We believe that this interview is going to give you one or two guidelines on how to go if you're a beginner coming into these SAP programs like this. So, let's go. So, who do we have here?
Yeah, it's a pleasure being here. So my name is Imam Young ThankGod John, a graduate of production engineering from University of Benin, and also a recent graduate of SAP YPP program 2025 cohort.
Wow. Yeah. SAP YPP
Yeah.
and University of Benin.
Yeah.
Last time I heard, the motto for University of Benin is what?
The motto for University of Benin is knowledge for service.
Knowledge for service. So University of Benin, SAP YPP, explosion.
Yeah.
That's good. So tell me, because I believe that a whole lot of our audience wants to know so much about how your journey in YPP had been and how it has currently shaped you. Okay, so let's start with understanding this. How was your life before SAP? Your career path before SAP. Who is ThankGod?
Okay. Okay, thank you very much for that. Career paths before SAP. So I was trying to navigate different career paths, trying my hands on a number of things, and I've been privileged at some point in time to work as a project manager for a particular app development project where I was a project manager. So I was still in the process of navigating career paths where I came across the SAP YPP program. So just put in for it, just like the same way I was applying for other jobs and everything. So I put in for it, and I think it opened my eyes into a new ecosystem that I wasn't familiar with initially and everything. So I think that was it.
Well, were you already aware of SAP? Because for me, I always like to sing my bell anytime that I have an opportunity. Okay, so prior to becoming an SAP consultant, I used to work with Nestle. And though it wasn't coming into consulting, it was not my first time using SAP. I previously used SAP for like over 4 or 5 years. So for you, is that the same? Were you already exposed to SAP before joining the SAP YPP program?
Okay, I'm actually amazed that I've not really heard about SAP program even before joining the YPP program. So this year was actually the year I heard about the program. So like I said, it was in my bid of exploring, trying to find out the career path, applying for different jobs and everything. So I just stumbled on it on LinkedIn. A friend had once spoken about it before, but I didn't really take it as anything serious. So I stumbled on it on LinkedIn. I saw the application out, SAP YPP program for Nigeria. And I said, okay, let me just put in my application. Not really knowing what the program entails or what SAP was even fully all about and everything. But let's just try this out and let's see how it will go and everything. Then it was in course of the application. I said, okay, let me find out what am I going into, what am I applying for and everything. So that's when I began to read about SAP, found out that SAP is actually one of the biggest ERP system we have, and they're actually doing well, and it's actually a privilege to be part of this ecosystem.
Now that's thank God. And with how every application for every certain opportunity goes, I believe that when people want to apply for big things, especially like opportunities like SAP YPP, that I know that even if we have over 1,000 or 20,000 applicants, we have like how many numbers that are selected?
Okay, so this current cohort, that's my cohort, they had about over 2,000 applicants for it. So it was 3 countries that were even combined together.
Wow.
So it was Nigeria, Kenya, and Angola. So, and we are only 30 that were selected out of the over 2,000 people that applied for it. We over 30 that were selected, and we are only 15 in Nigeria, while Angola and Kenya shared the other 15.
This reminds me of a particular program I came into Nestle with, which is the Nestle Technical Training. It was a little bit similar. We had large number of applicants, and then they ended up selecting just 20. But I remember the night I was applying for that program, having that mindset that, see, this program is a program that they end up selecting 20 people. I had this fear, like, will I be selected? So I don't know if you had such fears. Did you have fears during application that at a point would you even be selected? I know that, before you applied for the program, as much as you didn't know about SAP, right? You must have asked questions like, how is this YPP program like? And people will tell you, oh no, they select only a number of persons and all that. So how were you able to deal with that fear during your application? Did you even have that fear to start with?
Okay, like I said from initially, I didn't really know much about it. But as the application process started, for application and recruitment process, they have different application. We have interview process, we have assessment process and everything. So we had a first interview. So I think after the first interview, where it was just about knowing us as individuals and everything, so we were given an assignment to make a research on SAP. So that was when I now started my full-blown research on what SAP is all about, the systems, the firms, the organization that actually make use of SAP, the opportunities that are in SAP. So that was when I now found out that, wow, this is actually a big deal. So I think that was where the fear now started from. Because we are now informed that not everyone will be selected.
Exactly.
Then the next stage after that was now assessment stage, before now having a final interview with somebody in Barcelona. So it was not even something within our Nigerian ecosystem. So I think that was where the fear now came out from. And like, wow.
So how did you handle that? How did you handle that fear? Because most times that fear can creep with people. Even before our students are here, will I be selected? So how did you cope that?
Okay, so I was actually in handling the fear, because that was not the first application I was making out for and getting a rejection.
Okay.
I was like, oh, this should not be that. Why? Because I already started growing interests in SAP already, learning what it was all about and everything. So I was like, what? This should not be. This should not be. This should not be. And to my greatest surprise,
we're here.
Yeah.
Exactly. Thank you so much. Thank God. And I'm very curious. I am very, very curious, and I believe that our audience are also curious, especially for people that want to apply for SAP YPP next. Okay. So let's see. Now you applied, you got it, you got in. Now let's talk about ThankGod inside SAP YPP program. What was it like? Because now we have a situation where it was an entirely new journey for you, and I believe with what SAP YPP is, they expose you to a whole lot of modules. So how were you able to cope with? Were there times you felt like giving up? Were there times you don't want to do this again, you're tired? How do I get all these modules on my head? Okay, so how were you able to handle those situations?
Okay, first of all, YPP in itself, YPP means Young Professionals Program. So that was what it was all about. So finally we got into the program. So the first thing we first got was after the introduction and everything. That's after an introduction and onboarding section that we did. The program was fully virtual.
Okay.
Fully virtual. We're not provided with anything. Because we had that before now, they give allowance, they give data, but for this time around, there was no allowance, there was no data, and the program was something that was 9 to 5. So from 9 to 5, you are glued with your system. An instructor is teaching you.
But sorry to come in. So I believe that was not an entirely new thing for you, because you're a graduate of Unibe, which is knowledge for service. So those kind of situations, was that a new thing for you?
Yeah, it was not a new thing.
So it wasn't new.
Uniben has built us for those kind of things and everything. With what we went through in university, so I don't think there's anything new again under the sun.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that was it. So, but for the fact that this one now was virtual.
Okay.
So at least in university, you are seeing the person
face to face. Yeah.
So this one was fully virtual classes and everything. So at the first instance, coming into SAP, so when the classes started, they were only first looking like Arabic. Not
I can imagine.
What's of this? Okay, what's this? How did this relate with this? Hearing different things like T code, company code, cost centers. Hearing maybe say calm down. What's this and everything. So, but I'm somebody who is curious, and I'm somebody who is committed to learning.
Yeah, I like that.
And I'm also, when I say I'm privileged by God, I'm also a fast learner. So immediately after, I think after the first section and everything, so I started reading immediately. Started reading, started going beyond, because we are privileged to have all materials beforehand. So started reading the materials, checking out online also on SAP learning platform. So I think that also helped me to be able to catch up with the classes and also get better understanding when our instructor was instructing us. So it's actually at some point it's actually challenging, but we're able to pull through.
Yeah, so I think I need to speak more on the SAP learning platforms as well, because this is one platform that I've always talk about. The SAP learning platform has a whole lot of cases of any kind of questions that you want answers to, because we have professionals that would want to share their experience on platforms like that. Okay, but I believe that people would also want to know what your challenges were. Okay, so what were those challenges? Was it a particular module, or were they particular situations that you felt like, I think this is not for me, I think I want to give up? Were there times like that?
Okay, actually there was no time I wanted to give up.
Okay.
I was ready to see it through to the end. My curiosity has already been raised, so I wanted to satisfy my curiosity, understand what the program was all about, go through the modules and see what is at the end of the tunnel for me. But some of the few challenges we had, I don't use the word we are Nigerians, so it was actually network challenges and at some point in time. So changing from one network provider to another network provider, I don't mention so you have to use like 4 or 3 different network providers. So once this one is off, you quickly switch to this one. Why? Because if you miss any of those sections, it might be a little bit difficult trying to recap because it was not recorded.
Yeah, it's live.
Yeah, it was live and it was not recorded, and you can't record. So you must just be in every of those classes. So I think the only challenges I had at some point in time was just the network challenge and also power. But I was able to navigate the power challenge, but network challenge.
Yeah, it's very wonderful that even having to get through these challenges, you were still bold enough. You had the goal at your side, and for you that didn't matter. The only thing that mattered was that goal at your front, right?
Yes.
But also, I would also want to see how teamwork really played out for you, because in an environment like that, there might be some people that might have some little knowledge. How did you handle teamwork in that situation?
Okay. Yeah, first of all, I'm a team player. I love working with people. I'm not a lone player. Who I believe 2 good heads are always better than one at any point in time.
Yeah.
So, how do we collaborated a lot at different points in time. A number of us that were coming into the program, we were new to it. In as much as some of us already had knowledge about some ERP systems, other ERP apart from SAP and everything. But a number of us were just new to SAP ERP system. So what we did was, after every of the section, we collaborated together. Teamwork actually helped us a lot. Teamwork helped a lot in understanding many of these modules and in understanding many of these sections. Well, because after some sections, we just have to come together many nights, sometimes spending a lot of time at night and everything, trying to recap what was learned, asking ourselves individual questions. Then maybe anyone we could not give an absolute answer to, them, we just throw it in the lesson to our coordinator or instructor better. So teamwork was actually the bedrock that helped each and every one of them, because at some point in time we were really scared that we were going to pass some of this certification exam. Because after some of those lectures, seeing the exam, it was like something different from the lecture and everything. We had the opportunity of revising some of the quiz questions in the materials and also previous questions, had the opportunity of revising them. So working together actually helped us. First of all, it helped us in understanding the concept, where having to explain it together in simplified way and everything. So, and also we were able to skate through all certifications that we were supposed to, certifications, badges, and every one of them.
Yeah.
So that was advantage of teamwork.
Yeah. So, you know, I am aware that you did a whole lot of modules in YPP. Out of those modules, what particular modules stood out for you? What particular modules stood out for you in all of the modules?
Okay, so we did a lot of modules and actually have interest in a number of them, but let me speak from my bias as a production engineer. I studied production engineering, so I'm more drawn to production planning, that's PP, production planning, material management, asset management.
So like the operation sector?
Yeah, that has to do with operation sector. So I'm more drawn to those areas than the others, like sales.
Yeah, so that makes us even. Yeah, so I remember when I transitioned from being a maintenance planner to being an SAP consultant in asset management. I had a mindset shift, a very huge one. And it was very mandatory that I had to have that mindset shift, because I had to realize that coming from being a super user was completely different from being a consultant. I had to have that mindset shift so that I could fit properly for a consultant. Okay. So now for you, coming into SAP YPP, having to experience all of this. Okay. Now you came in as a young professional, okay, and then you're in YPP and you've gotten these experience, exposure. What was the mindset shift that you had? What was the mindset shift you had in SAP YPP?
Okay. So because of my background, coming out from an engineering background, and now coming into a system like SAP that has to do enterprise planning, business flow, and the likes and everything. So I was resilient. It was I'm a kind of person who said I do it. You know what I'm saying? I love challenges. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because those are mediums for us to grow. Those are mediums for us to develop and also explore, and also gain additional value to ourselves. So it was a great mindset shift, coming into a new ecosystem and a new environment. I learned on the job and I'm still learning on the job.
Yeah, so this is very, very yeah, so that's very interesting. And I believe that it's very important that people have mindset shifts, okay? Not having like a fixed mindset. And like an opportunity like SAP YPP is a very good opportunity if you know exactly what you want. Okay, so SAP YPP, which is the Young Professionals Program. So it's just there to equip young professionals, for some of us that have this zeal to want to go into the SAP space. Okay, but there's something I really want to ask you. Now, I'm very curious to know, and I know that a whole lot of our audience are also curious to know, how did this SAP YPP shape your career opportunities? Okay, so I understand that, yeah, you're done with SAP YPP. The next thing is to go into the industry, and start working. So how will it affect? And during your waiting period, how were you able to prepare for opportunities as well?
Okay. In as much as currently I'm still very much open to various opportunities, but one of the advantage of the SAP YPP program is that after the program, they don't leave you idle for so long.
Yeah.
They don't leave you idle for so long.
That's
So they find a way of sending you into the industry. So either to one of the customers or to their partners. So they find a way of placing you. In as much as they will tell you from the onset, it's not guaranteed, but they will find a way of placing you. So, and I'm privileged to be working with a customer, one of SAP customers here in Nigeria. So I'm privileged to be working with them. And between our graduation time to when I got an internship offer with one of SAP customers here in Nigeria, I think it took about 2 months or thereabout. So for that 2 months period, I just kept learning, because I'm someone that I have a learner mindset. So I just keep learning, keep revising those courses and everything, exploring SAP learning platform, also building my certifications, keep learning, so that first of all, so that I don't forget.
Because, that's the point.
Because
exactly.
The 2 months learning program in the YPP was rigorous. So it's not just all about passing certification. It was all about coming in and being able to render hands-on experience, being able to give value to an ecosystem or to an organization. So as to be able to give value when I get into any of the system, either as a partner, either in the partner or to the customer. So I kept learning. So I was just learning, and also asking questions. I think that was one of the years I also reached out to you on LinkedIn. So I reached out to various persons that had SAP experiences on LinkedIn. You get to hear their experience, and also get to hear from them how they were able to navigate their path and to become solid in the SAP ecosystem.
Yeah, thank God you really have a very wonderful experience. I mean, this could suffice for a whole book. My SAP YPP journey by ThankGod.
That's good. Okay, it's something I can do maybe in the future.
Yeah, and we'll be looking out for it actually. So please let's take note of this.
No problem.
So, what's your advice for any beginner, that wants to come into the SAP YPP space? What's your advice for them?
Okay, well, I still consider myself as a beginner in the SAP ecosystem.
No, so what we're trying to say now is
those
for people that want
to
apply
for SAP.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, first of all, have a learner mindset.
Key number one.
Have a learner mindset because SAP is a very large space. Even when you feel you know it all, something is coming up again. Because SAP they do updates here and there, updates here and there, and everything. So have a learner mindset, and also be open to learning. Collaboration helps a lot. Teamwork helps a lot, and everything. So it's a very good ecosystem. So I enjoy graduates and those that are just coming out of school, those are coming out of NYSC program and everything. So instead of wondering about, in as much as we are throwing out applications, when you throw out application to SAP, if by chance or by privilege you get into the YPP program, why? Because there are 2 persons that do not graduate. But if you have a learner mindset and you're somebody who is committed to learning, you're someone who is committed to personal development and self-development, then you see that there's a whole lot in the SAP ecosystem that you can benefit from. And the beauty of SAP is that it finds a way of integrating with other SAP systems. So even as far as you are doing SAP, you are not in an excluded world or a segregated world and everything. So you can also interact with other applications, interact with other systems. So it's actually a beautiful thing for anyone who wants to come in. It's a beautiful ecosystem, and the ecosystem is building up so fast in Nigeria.
Yeah.
So coming in early, we do it.
Yeah, so that's a pretty good one. Thank you very much, ThankGod. I mean, we are very delighted to have even had you on this platform to start with.
Wow.
And I'm very sure that our audience will also be very happy that we're able to interview someone as esteemed as you in the SAP YPP space. Thank you once again.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure.